Welcome back to This Is Working. I'm LinkedIn Editor-in-Chief Dan Roth. Over the past decade, I've had the opportunity to meet and interview some of the world's top leaders who have a significant impact on the way we live and the way we work. Every step of the way, I've had our executive producer and head of original content, Florencia Iriando, behind the camera guiding me. On this edition of This Is Working, we're giving you a sneak peek into Flo's new series, Best Advice, where she resurfaces some of the amazing, evergreen advice these leaders have given us.
There's a shift happening in the world right now that's changing the way we move up in our careers. It's the pivot to a skills-based approach instead of focusing solely on formal education. So today, I'm bringing some great advice from three trailblazers: Tyler Perry, Indra Nooyi, and Gwen Stefani. The three of them say learning on the job and intuition paved their way to their success. Let's talk about media mogul Tyler Perry. When he started out, he didn't have the money or resources to get traditional training. He actually didn't even finish high school. But that didn't hold him back.
I think that college is so necessary and important for so many people. I could have paid for Harvard for about 500 graduates, and the mistakes that I've made over the years and taxes and things I didn't know. There's a part of me that wished I had that kind of learning, but there's also a part of me that resisted because I wouldn't have the freedom to think outside of it. I never felt invited and I never felt welcomed. I always felt like the outcast. So no, I never had that sense of I want to go and learn, which I'm grateful for because the way I learned was so outside of it. Most television shows in Hollywood shoot 4 pages a day. 4 pages is a lot. I'm shooting 100 pages in one day on my shows. And I have lots of friends who are really famous and do really, really well, who are inside of the system, who can't even understand this level of the studio or the production or the output of what I'm doing. They can't wrap their brain around it because they were so ingrained inside of the system. So I think that if you go to college and you learn as much as you can, but if you can maintain the freedom of thought outside of it. If I've never taken a creative writing class. I've never taken a class on writing a script. I've never taken any of that. So had I done any of that, I think it would have changed every bit inside of me, and I wouldn't have been able to connect to this audience in particular.
Next, I have some advice from Indra Nooyi, the longtime CEO of PepsiCo, a position she held for 12 of the 24 years she spent at the company. Indra's path is quite different than Tyler Perry's. It's actually almost the opposite. She holds 2 master's degrees, including one from Yale, but even she says she owes her movement up the corporate ladder to having what she calls a pocket skill.
Whatever happens, have a hip pocket skill. People should look at you and say, on this particular issue, the only person who can answer it or can contribute to it is you. Because if they know that you have a competence that nobody else has, you become more valuable. Interestingly, over my entire career, what I've been known for is making simple the complex, whatever the issue is. And if you gave it to Indra, it will get addressed. When somebody gives me a complex problem, I become a student. I don't care that I'm CEO, president, or CFO, I become a student. Don't get fixated on your CEO aspiration. Focus on doing the current job you have so damn well that people say nobody else can do that job as well as Indra is doing it. So I think it's critically important to focus on the current job.
And my next guest is Grammy Award winner Gwen Stefani, who doesn't take anything for granted and ultimately attributes her success to following her instincts.
People should always do things from what's genuine to them and their heart and try to be true to themselves, because people, especially in music, see right through that stuff, And I think that for me, I never in my wildest dreams ever thought that I would be anywhere outside of my dad's garage. Not even just listen to music, but be able to write my story and then share that and have it, affect people and help people and bring joy or whatever it does, mark a time period for them. It's just such an honor. And I think that I've only ever just followed my heart. That's what I've done. I'm not saying it's gonna work for everyone, but for me, that's worked. It always feels like I need to keep kicking my feet, you know what I mean? I need to keep swimming, because if you don't, you sink, you know what I mean? And there's always that, I feel like I've been running this for a long time to keep it going.
I find it interesting to see how different people can build their way up to become leaders through formal education or pure hustle. And they all show us that it's as important to have a clear target as it is to appreciate each step of the way. Now I want to hear from you. What's the best advice you've ever received? If you want more advice from the world's top leaders, make sure to follow my Best Advice newsletter here on LinkedIn News.